arrest in the Capitol riot. A Hilton man now facing charges nearly 9 months after the insurrection. The arrest coming as a shock to his family.
Shock and awe, I guess. You know, against somebody that's just basically just stays home and takes care of his little boy.
New details as that suspect remains locked up here in Monroe County tonight. Good evening. I'm Doug Embledge in for Don. This is the second arrest of a local since that deadly day at the Capitol back in January. 13 Wham's Dan Schrack spoke with the family of the man now facing some serious charges. Dan?
Doug, Mattice, as you said, is currently being held in Monroe County Jail. But tomorrow is a big day. He's hoping to be released on bond.
Cody, where are you from? I'm from Rochester, New York. Thank you for your service.
Video posted to social media in January shows Cody Mattice begging for water after he says he was pepper sprayed on the steps of the U.S. Capitol.
I'm not trying to fight nobody. I got pushed. I need water. I got water.
Nearly 9 months later, the 28-year-old is facing charges from that day.
He was not involved in any kind of physical violence or anything at the protest.
Matisse's grandfather says in the early morning hours of October 7th, the FBI arrived at their Hilton home, pulling up to the house in an armored vehicle, ready to arrest Mattice.
What really shocked them, what shocked us too, was when they set off their flashbang grenade right out in the front.
Evert says until then, the family was unaware Mattice was even a suspect.
He went there to see Trump. He went with the crowd, you know, when they went up to do the protest. He didn't get in any kind of altercations or fights or anything. He never went inside those barricades.
An arrest warrant alleges Mattice was in a restricted area and impeded Capitol Police from doing their job. Court papers also claim acts of physical violence and disorderly conduct.
He's not a violent, dangerous criminal. He's just a stay-at-home dad.
But the FBI does not agree. In early April, the agency tweeted this photo of Mattice, hoping someone could identify him. To date, more than 650 people have been named in the Capitol insurrection, largely in part by social media sleuths, posting and sharing photos, videos, and any information they find with the FBI. But Evert says not all of it is true.
He was describing Cody as a domestic, so much as a domestic terrorist, that he was a danger to society, that he was a flight risk. That's all. That's the farthest thing from the truth. He's not violent. He's a gentle kid. He's a loving father, stay-at-home dad. He regrets ever going there. He actually been saying that since he got back from that thing. He wishes he never went.
The former head of the FDA says children under the age of 12 could be fully vaccinated by Thanksgiving. As we hear from Jane Chaco, pediatricians are already discussing how they can give the shot in their office. Jane?
Dan, Doug, I spoke with a pediatrician in Brighton today who says many families are ready to get their kids vaccinated as soon as it's approved. While they have the capacity to offer vaccines at the office, they can't do all the heavy lifting.
All right, you guard him then.
Michael Gleghorn's family is vaccinated except his son, the youngest of 4, who is 9 and not eligible yet to get the COVID shot.
I've worked in labs for a very long time. I've taken immunology classes. I understand the importance of it. Of course, there's always risks with things, but the greater good exceeds the risk, in my opinion. And so as soon as my youngest can get the vaccine, we will.
Dr. Edward Lewis says the families of many of his young patients say they are eager to get the vaccine.
Overwhelmingly, the response is, how soon can we get it? When will you let us know?
First, the FDA has to approve emergency use authorization of the Pfizer COVID shot for children 5 to 11. Then it would be up to individual counties to distribute the vaccines. Lewis expects local pediatric offices will be allowed to offer the shots.
I think the younger kids are going to be more comfortable coming to our office.
He says his office has been swamped recently with COVID testing and believes more COVID vaccination sites will need to open to meet the demand once the rollout begins.
Our capacity to give vaccines on a given day is limited by space and time. So we're not going to be able to give as many vaccine doses as the Dome or the Fleet Center. But, wherever you go, the kids will be monitored, it will be safe, and they will be well taken care of.
But not all parents want their kids to get the vaccine.
Oh, she don't play with shots. She would, even if I tell her we're going to the doctor, she has like a whole fit.
Priscilla Keys says she won't take her 5-year-old to get vaccinated.
I just feel like they're too little to have that kind of stuff to be getting done. Like, even like with flu shots, all that, I just don't approve of it. I don't like it. So, they're too young. I feel like you should wait till they make the decision.
And Pfizer says the younger age group should get only a third of the regular dose. An FDA expert panel is scheduled to hear presentations on the vaccine's safety and efficacy in 2 weeks.
For service, the technology is now being promoted as an answer to a nationwide shortage of restaurant workers.
We're short on help. The robots are definitely a solution to that problem.
At least that is the pitch from a company that's marketing robotic technology to an industry in dire need of help. Some restaurants across the country are using it already. 13 Wham's Tyler Brown saw those robots in action today and found out how some local restaurants might put robots to use someday.
Well, Doug, a restaurant manager I spoke to today told me this technology isn't meant to replace workers, but rather help restaurants be more efficient until they can find more staff.
Have a good day.
It carries almost 80 pounds of food and drinks. It can sing happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
And even do this.
I am going to dance.
Well, these robots can deliver right to your table and help the waitress or waiters take those orders and going back and forth from busing to delivering.
Local distributor Restaurant Connections believes robots could be the answer for an industry struggling with low staff.
There's so many factors that have affected the restaurant business, and there's been very little solutions. We could pay people as much as you want, but some people don't want to do some of these jobs. The robots are a solution to that.
The technology is already piquing interest locally. A manager at the local restaurant chain The Distillery says it is considering using this technology in all its locations to improve efficiency and reduce worker stress.
We're not looking at it to replace people per se. We're looking at it to enhance the experience. So our staff members would probably be able to handle a larger number of tables because of the efficiency of the robotics. So they would have the opportunity to interact much more with their customers without having to physically bring the food in and out of the kitchen.
Beyond restaurants, robots might also be put to work in other businesses struggling to fill openings. Hospitals, for example, or cleaning companies.
Usually what these robots are doing in jobs people can't fill right now.